Alright, hey guys, welcome to my brand new channel. VLT stands for Vinny Likes Talking, and within the next 15 or however how long this goes, you're gonna realize why it's called that. Anyway, this was a channel I wanted to start for a long time, but self-conscious, seeing all the YouTube comments and other people I'd like to watch, it kind of like startled me from doing it. I said, hey, screw it. It's like midnight last night. I just got off, what was it, like Destiny? I was like, you know what, give it a shot. So, what I want to do with this channel is have like series of just me playing games with friends, and also have a series called Politically Vincorrect, where I just kind of like take my thing, or I take my like tone on certain things that are like going on in the news today. As you can see, it's called Politically Vincorrect, meaning it's probably gonna be really fucked up. Right off the bat, there you go. Really messed up. Certain things I probably shouldn't say, but like it's just my honest opinion on it. So for today's episode, I just wanted to do like a little introduction. Wanted to talk about who I am, what I do, and basically just get right into it. As you know, it says Vinny Likes Talking. My full name is Vincenzo. I usually go by Vinny or Enzo through all my friends or people that tend to meet me, so those two are interchangeable. However you choose to call me, it doesn't matter. I like to do art. I like to play video games. I currently go to college right now. I'm trying to get my art degree. It's a pain in the ass, but when you do the things you love, it doesn't become that hard or that stressful, even though college tends to make you rethink saying that and saying, oh, you really thought this wasn't so stressful, huh? Yeah. Well, it gets times like that, but people say video games are kind of dumb and a waste of time, but honestly, they're like the best thing for me to just kick back, enjoy time with my friends, and honestly just ignore what's happening in like the real world. Because honestly, sports used to be that thing for me all the time. Trust me, I love perfect time right now. You got postseason in baseball. Football's going on, and my god, all the political stuff happening in there right now, it's just kind of like, this was supposed to be my away from all of that stuff, and instead I'm hearing more of it. I mean, it's kind of happening in the video game community as well, but teach their own. Sometimes it's worth talking about it, so like maybe I should already start like bringing my opinion on certain things. Earlier, you already heard me say the F word. Boom, I already messed up right off the bat. So you know what, I want to take this time to talk about insults and swearing and all those kinds of things. For swearing off the bat, you're probably going to hear a lot of it from me. And you might hear it off the bat and be like, oh my god, this dude, what is his problem? Like, there's all kinds of people watching, or is that really how he talks to people? When I was at school, it was like a whole different version / mode of me, like, where it just kind of turned off. Like, I would never say the F word, I would never say anything, like, I just knew it. As soon as I get home, boom, right back to talking like a sailor. And the only reason why was like, what the heck was that all about? That was weird. My mic just did some weird shit. Anyway, so like I would turn it off, but like once I got back home, it would just kind of come back as like second nature. And like when you really realize it, once like friends and family kind of got used to it, because it was a weird thing for them too. It was just me, my whole family would be like talking to each other, and every other word with like added verbiage in the sentence would be a swear word. And like we didn't even think anything of like that. I mean, big Italian family, we're loud, we're obnoxious, happens all the time. Ever since I was a child, going to my grandparents' house, it was like literally just an adverb, an adjective. It was just added wordage that wasn't necessary, but it just became so like added all the time, we didn't even notice it. I could literally go to like a family member and just say the F word right in front of like friends that were over, and they'd be like, oh my god, like my mom or dad would beat my ass. But like, even though I'm not saying it's the right or wrong thing, because words, I guess, only have as much power as you give them, we didn't even see a problem with it anymore. Honestly, like, and that's why I kind of wanted to talk about this, because with everything going on, words, insults, the power we give them, I kind of stopped trying to make videos earlier because of the shit me and my friends would say would just get us, like, smacked right in the back of the head, honestly, because people are going to think, oh my god, these people are bigoted, they're racist, they have no concern for, like, public decency, when realistically, I go to, what do I go to? I go to a liberal arts college. I love listening to the talks we have there. I love listening to the talks that people oppose the ideas we have at this college. I like to play devil's advocate, but like first and foremost, I'm just a human being that like believes everyone is equal. Like ever since I was a child, I was like, mommy, daddy, why are people hating each other just because the pigments of their skin? As soon as I learned biology on how it's like the melanin in your skin and whatnot, I was like, this is fucking stupid. Like, why are people thinking one is better than the other just because of the skin tone of a person. You already heard all this before. Like, I don't even need to go into it. But like, one of the most common ones is like the N-word. A lot of things happened recently. You have PewDiePie during a stream saying the hard R on an accident. You have people defending him, saying it was just an accident. You have people saying no, he's just a racist, and like it just came out because it's showing his true colors, or he uses the word a lot. Me and my friends, we use the soft A a lot of the time. I'm gonna be honest. I know there's so many people out there that just say, you know what? If you're not of color, you shouldn't be able to say the word, whether it's soft A, hard R, or anything. For me, it's like, I get where you're coming from, but like, do you listen to the music nowadays? Do you listen to people on social media? Do you listen to people like on MTV? It's everywhere. It has literally become a term for dude, bro, everything. It's literally a friendship term, it's an insult term, it's everything. Like, no matter where you go, I use it all the time, and sometimes I think about it too. I'm like, shit, if I'm gonna record that, am I gonna get my ass kicked for this? I've talked about it with my friends that are of color. I'm like, how do you feel about it? I have friends saying, oh yeah, it's totally a normal thing. You just, you know, they totally don't want to hear the hard R because, you know, the background, like the culture behind it, what it brings. But when I look at it, I wouldn't do it because I know like the circumstances behind it. But when I try to think about the whole words power thing, honestly, when I hear that, I literally don't think of a person of color. I think, because it's funny, I could do like I could do a test on video games, how many times I've heard it. It is when people are so fucking angry. Like, these people are literally just bonkers pissed right now, tilted beyond belief. That's the only time I hear them say it to someone. Someone that's doing something really idiotic, they're trolling, they're fucking cheating in the game, they're glitching, they're doing something just so stupid, so broken, that's what they call them that. And they literally are using the word as it should mean, just meaning ignorant. None of these people happen to be black. None of these people happen to be people of color. None of my friends are racist or closet racist, I'm sure of. I don't know, maybe I have to have a talk with them, I don't know. But I just feel like this whole thing with words, like the feelings and power that it's invoking, it's crazy. Like, we have real things we should worry about. Stuff that's going on with people going to, you know, KKK rallies. Fucking straight up saying, I don't like these people because they're lesser than me and I believe that is correct. Those are the things. But when we're like taking up like constant news articles, Twitch streamers getting like fucking the lid blown off because they're saying a certain word that offends, I don't think that's the thing. For instance, PewDiePie has done a shit ton for the community. He's helped YouTube, he's helped people, he's had so many charities with the water, clean water, food, helping people. I highly doubt he's a racist. I mean, that's just, I don't know, it's maybe not my point to say that. But I also do feel like it's just a slip up because of the video gaming community, the insulting community, the words that are there. Another word on the agenda. Saying words like faggot, queer. I swear to God, I hear it all the time in gaming. But all the time people say it, they just use it as an insult, like as if I were to call someone a douchebag, a bastard, a fuckhead, if you will. When people say those things, I don't think they're trying to preach anything about homosexuality. Anytime I was ever mentioning a person that liked men or a woman that liked women, so if I were to, I don't even call them gay, I would just use the term they're homosexual. Like, I don't, like anytime I've seen a friend get really mad at someone and they use the term faggot perhaps, they had nothing to do with their sexuality. That was just the insult to them. And I feel like this whole video game community, the whole idea of insults and words and feelings and everything today, it's kind of like they're not the same meanings they once had. I mean, it definitely does still happen. I know that's the problem. Like, okay, you say this, Vin, you say this. Meanwhile, there are people bullying homosexuals out there, calling them these terms, these hurtful terms in which they take it so. But it's just such a slippery slope to walk because it's not the case everywhere. And it makes me feel like a bad person because I know a lot of people that don't use these words in a way. They use them as your replacement for you douchebag, you bastard, you asshole. These are the words they've come. And I feel like we should be happy that these words are just insults now to everyone. There you go, equality at its finest. Use an insult for everybody. Whereas, like, it's not specific to anyone now. It's not just like people are using these words to just target homosexuals. They don't use the N-word with an A or an R. They use the N-word with an A to like, if you're my friend, if you're a random encounter, if you're a dude. They're not using it distinctly just, I mean, they're not using distinctly just to call out a certain race or anything. And I feel like the problem we have here is like we're just, I mean, I'm doing it right now. I'm just digging into it way too much. Like we shouldn't be worried about it when there's bigger things to worry about. And so like, where do we go from here? I don't know. Like I've had classes, had a genders inequality class in college like last year. And my God, how weird I felt in that class. Because I honestly thought off the bat, because like through internet and whatnot, was it gonna be a stereotypical like Tumblr feminazi whole, you know, the whole agenda. Whereas I absolutely loved the class because of the teacher. The teacher herself was, I thought at first, gonna be, you know, so biased. The whole class was full of girls. It was me, like one of the only guys in there. So I was like, maybe I should just keep my mouth shut. And the thing that like kept my mouth shut for the longest time was, you know what, the stuff they're talking about right now, I don't want to like just put my head in there. The part where I started to finally talk was like, we got into like a whole 2-class discussion about whether it was okay for guys to hold like doors open for girls. And my God, like this was a serious thing to some of them. They were like saying, we're strong enough, we can do it ourselves. I don't need you to open the door. Whereas like people were like, oh, you know, chivalry and dead. But then finally I was like, you know what? Guys, why don't we talk about something more important? Why don't we talk about the feminist crisis, the issues going on like in places of Saudi Arabia and the Middle East? And my teacher was so on board with that, and we just started talking about that. And we start not talking about real issues, but we started talking about more important issues when you look at it from a global scale. And it's funny because the girls, although they deal with so much, you gotta understand, today, no matter where you are, even in America, even though I feel like it's like that for everyone, you know, everyone has their problems they have to go through, whether you're a man, woman, person of color, white, there's all kinds of privileges, but that's for another thing. But when we like started opening the talk to like around the world and what women were going through, not being able to shop on their own, not being able to drive, not being able to show their like face in public, I started to really enjoy class because I kind of felt like we weren't just tipping our toes around certain things that were just bothering us per se, but we were starting to get like to what really mattered. And that's the same thing with like the whole idea of racism. We were talking about microaggressions, you know? We're talking about insults, we're talking about things you say. And then once we kind of got past all the like bickering about that, and we started talking about what we can do to stand together and not just point out the enemy per se, what people are doing wrong, then I started enjoying the class. We started making a difference, you know? We started getting out there and doing stuff and just saying stuff. I hope something like that soon happens for the whole thing in the NFL, and apparently now in baseball. I swear to God, if this political agenda ruins baseball for me, I'm going to be so pissed, man. Cubs finally won the World Series last year, and I'm looking for another postseason to, like, lose my balls over, right? So, like, just a quick blurb before we're going to talk about that. The kneeling, the standing. What does it matter? I have friends on social media, and my God, I feel like it's sticking my hand through a fence with a bunch of angry dogs, like, fucking ready to snap it off. I'm not a racist. I don't disrespect America's flag. I'm just saying, do what you will to stand for something. That's the stuff we should be worrying about. Action, not saying words, not saying, oh, this person is doing something wrong by standing or kneeling or sitting crisscrossed applesauce, spreading their legs too far, which is also a problem. We talked about that in the genders issue class. All these things we just keep talking about. Talk. We gotta just do something and try to find the other person's opinion on it. I know I'm jumping all over the place right now, honestly. I gotta keep these more organized in the future. But, like, what is the problem with action? Like, we feel the need. What is the problem with debating? What is the problem with having a different side on things? You go on Twitter today, if you do not agree with someone, they'll rip your head off for it. I shit you not. I thought it was fucking hilarious. I once had a discussion on a Blackhawks page, Chicago Blackhawks, let's go. 3-6, you know, about like our goaltender, right? Something like that. And I swear to God, one of the fans supposedly got into it with me because we just had a little we had a debate on who the starting goalie should have been, what the future outlook for the Blackhawks should have been, and just like in general, like, you know, just certain like things that fans should like be able to talk about and not like make a big deal about. But you know, she fucking got all pissed, started swearing at me, and then boom, like blocked me. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess it's not okay to have different opinions anymore. I mean, that's how it seems like everywhere you go. Now just there, that was just like one instance, you know. Everywhere you go, we can't find middle ground anymore, and I feel like that's the problem we're like kind of coming into. So just for all you guys watching, next time you're in a debate, you know, fucking try to find the middle ground. Unless they're a Nazi. In that case, punch them in the face.